Welcome everyone to another edition of the Square Circle Cafe. I am your hostess Gladys, LDF of the JWO. Here with us as always, live from the ATL. Here is JC, everybody,
Hello.
and he's okay because he's in okay from Oklahoma. We have Jeremy.
Well, good evening. We're going to start with something that's going to make me not so okay.
Let's preface this that this has to do with AEW, and the main event was John Moxley versus I'm sorry, Adam Copeland. Hardcore weapons were involved, and let's just leave it at that. Take it away, Jeremy.
Well, we're not quite going to leave it at that because once again, AEW took an unnecessary risk. The climactic spot, if you will, of the event, this was a week and a half ago on Dynamite, involved Copeland pulling out sorry, not a barbed wire, a nail covered board, and he gets hit with a cutter before he can use it because he was going to swing it at Mox. Okay. That's not the worst of it. Copeland then hits him in the gut with Spike, slams it over his back, and that's not even the worst. No, it gets worse. He put the nail covered board on the mat and he suplexed John Moxley right on top of the board to where the nails were stuck in Moxley's back. Are you freaking kidding me, AEW?
Like a
Are you
porcupine.
kidding me? Yeah, he was a porcupine. He was a literal porcupine, and I'm sorry, but this is bullshit.
And from what I
I
understand, it took several people to get the nails out of his back.
Oh yes, God. It did. It did. And and I just what the why are we doing this shit?
AEW
I,
once again
I,
having its identity crisis because they can't decide if they want to be WCW, CCW, or ECW.
and in so doing, they're becoming the worst of all of those. I it it boggles the mind. I thought a plastic bag was the worst it was going to get. I was clearly wrong. A plastic bag was not the worst I could get. The, the
I thought the
next step is
hypodermic needle
literal
through the
murder.
mouth was the worst they were going to get.
Oh, yeah, we're unfortunately we're reminding JC of that.
Yeah.
But no,
Now,
that
let's
wasn't.
preface the fact that John Moxley is coming from deathmatch wrestling. He did wrestle for CCW for a while. He did have some matches where he was involved with death matches, hardcore matches. I believe he was in a tournament of death match. Actually, I think he was in the tournament of death match where Nick Gage died for a few minutes. So,
God, man.
was it
What
Nick
in
Gage or I'm pretty sure it was Nick, but somebody passed away for like a few minutes. But thankfully, they were medevaced and they were revived. But so John Moxley is coming from a hardcore background, and Adam Copeland has had a couple of hardcore matches in this past. Let's not forget his infamous moment with Mick Foley at WrestleMania when they went diving through a table that was on fire. So
But you
both
gotta remember, his hardcore stuff is with WWE or F at the time, however you want it. It's not anything compared to what Mox has done. I mean, not the knockoff or anything that Copeland has done, but you remember how WWE, one of the things that people criticized him for was being kind of soft hardcore. But when you looking back at it, there were reasons. In AEW, I've heard about what happened with the Moxley. I heard there was some things that went on, but I didn't really get into detail until, and then when Jeremy brought up how detailed it was, I was like, "Oh my God, man!" so
I,
that
I
so. That's why my face was going to different stages of what the fuck.
Yeah, and I feel like we're gonna almost have to put a parental advisory on this show because of how graphic that description had to be.
What do you think
Because
the
I mean,
description is bad? I've seen the video, just like you saw the match too. It was like, ew, ew, ah. And I'm a horror movie fanatic, and that got me.
yeah, and you have somebody in your life, Gladys,
Hmm.
that absolutely detested it.
Yeah, hardcore wrestlers I know, one in particular, has said that they've done some crazy stuff in their lifetime, but they would never do that.
And
Yeah,
it's not about I'm sorry, go ahead.
you wouldn't catch me dead doing it.
Yeah, and it's not about and you know, there's gonna be that certain group of people is like, oh, if you couldn't handle this, you wouldn't have been able to handle the attitude era. This ain't got nothing to do with the attitude era. I mean, there was some
No,
crazy stuff that went on during the attitude era. But when it started getting to that point where it's blurring the line of being like, oh, this person could actually get disfigured,
unalived.
whatever, you know, it kind of knocks you out of your whole suspension of belief. So I think in the course of AEW trying to be the wrestling fan promotion, they're kind of tiptoeing that line to the point where, you know, what the hell are you doing?
Well,
Oh
yeah,
no no
to
no
me,
no
it's
no
the
no no
fact
no no
that
no no
Tony
no 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 no
Khan
no.
owns the group, and yet he gave the okay for that. And I was like, was he too busy to realize how dangerous that was going to be?
Oh snap! I wasn't even going to go there, but I mean, I, valid. But here's the thing: they didn't just tiptoe over the line. Oh no 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 no! They pole vaulted over the damn thing
Mm-hmm.
with this one,
I mean, how far are they willing to go? Are they gonna go until someone actually gets hurt? I mean, that it's
or
like 20,
unalived.
yeah, it's like they don't have someone back there saying, "Hey,
We
maybe
shouldn't
we
be
need
doing
to."
this.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact is, he has some people back there that's been in the game for a long time, and no one's telling him, "Yo, maybe we need to like take some precautions here." I mean, not WWE for whatever you want, but at least you know they're not trying to. I ain't gonna even say that because you know
No,
there are some.
Okay,
AEW, it just goes back to what I said earlier. AEW has a seriously identity crisis. They can't figure out what their fan base is and what they are. They try so hard to give us good matches as far as like wrestling goes, and some of them are pretty good. They try to give us characters that we'll get back behind, but it just seems like lately it's more about the shock value. It's more about how much they could shock you with what they can do. And don't get me wrong, you guys know I'm a Moxley fan. I love Mox. I loved him when he was Dean Ambrose. I've actually gone back and seen some of his work back in the day. He actually was a really good wrestler. I did enjoy some of the things he's done in AEW, but I feel like lately he's really been pushing the envelope as far as like what he could get away with. Going back to the plastic bag incident, and of course, I told you on that show when we talked about it that I went to a wrestling show where someone actually tried it. I was afraid that the wrestling show I was going to go to last weekend was going to try something that crazy. Thankfully, they didn't. All that was involved was thumbtacks. That's all I'm going to say. So it was my
and,
understanding
and
that
and here's the thing. Here's the thing about thumbtacks. We've seen it. You know, it, it's it's not for everybody, but at least we know that it's been done. I mean, eh, TNA back in the day, this was a number of years ago. Abyss carried around a similar barbed wire board, which they called Janus, and he would repeatedly try to use it and would miss. He'd stick it into the turnbuckle or whatever. And the idea was that if he actually hit somebody with it, he would kill them.
Well,
Um,
it was implied during the Delete or Decay match that he did use it on Jeff Hardy, but of course, cinematography showed that he went to hit him. Jeff Hardy got it, but you didn't see it. So he has used
yep.
it one time, but we all know the lake
I
of
think he used it a
reincarnation
couple
of
other
Jeff.
times as well, but the point is, they played it up as he can't use it. He will kill somebody with it
Mm-hmm.
because he's a monster. If you're going to use a board or a back covered in nails, and I'm not advocating for using one at all, but if you're going to do it, the way they did it with Abyss is fine by me. We don't need to see people getting hit with this thing. We don't need to be. We don't need to see people taking fucking suplexes on the thing.
Oh
We just
God.
don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the executives at TNT were not exactly thrilled to see that spot. And I'm hoping that one of them would have said something to Tony Khan to make him realize that he can't keep doing that kind of stuff because eventually, at some point, as you said, someone's going to get seriously injured or worse, gone to Shangri La, you know, and we don't want that. I mean, unfortunately,
No.
we lived during a time where a wrestler did die in front of a live audience. I'm not going to mention who, but you guys know who I'm talking about from May 1999. You know,
Yep.
and some are still traumatized from that because I'm sure some of you out there watching this saw that pay per view, and even though you didn't see the event itself, you knew it happened. But think about the people in the audience there who actually did see it happen. It's not something you want to have happen in front of an audience. I just don't want to see. I mean, I'm grateful that John didn't get any worse than he actually got. I mean, the nails didn't go in that far, but can you imagine if they went in further? And I don't even want to think about that. Like,
Yep.
so
No.
I'm,
Re-
yeah.
Real quick to go back before I forget, to go back to your comment about how TNT, Warner Brothers Discovery is responding to these things. Uh, Beyond the Bell YouTube show, Andrew Zarian said he'd been hearing positive stuff from Warner Brothers Discovery about the AEW partnership. Here's the kicker. He mentioned AEW ratings and the online discourse around them to his Warner Brothers contacts and, quote, they don't care. The messaging on the internet is not even resonating with these people, and they're in key positions there, close quote. So they don't give a fuck.
As long as it brings in the money.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's Warner Brothers, man, and this is the same company that um from a gamer's perspective, has NetherRealm Studios, and what's their top game? Mortal Kombat, which is bringing in money. So,
All right, I'll give him that. I just hope that God's forbid that that's the last we'll see of anything nutty like that. I just don't want to see. Yeah, I just don't want to see anything too crazy happening. I mean, I do occasionally check in from time to time in AEW because there are a couple people that are like, I mean, I'm really into the Tony Storm character, so I'm, always checking out that kind of stuff. And of course, I know a couple people who are on the roster, so I want to check it out. But the last thing I want to do is to check it out one day, and all of a sudden, you know, someone's running around on fire. And even though we've seen that before, if they're barebacked, I don't want to, because
yeah,
at least the people we saw on fire had clothes on, or they had that special effects fire retardant stuff on them. So,
Yeah.
but if it's
yeah, I
bareback,
guess,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, no, don't want to see
I
it.
guess basically, we want to suspend. We want to suspend, the suspension of belief. You know, but you don't want to get so like far out of it. It just starts creeping you out. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I want to look at something scary, I'll pop in a horror movie or a Wade Barrett promo. Watch
oh,
something like that.
Oh, oh, oh.
I haven't done one in over a month. Come on, you got to
I'm
give me.
waiting for it.
Let me hear
I said boo.
it. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, I don't want AEW to have to result to shock ratings in order to get the fans to tune
No,
in. It's no, it's not.
Oh,
It's not right. And Mox,
speaking,
it's not worth it.
yeah, I know Mox is crazy, but I hopefully at some point he realizes that, well, maybe I shouldn't have my daughter know what I'm doing. Um, I'm not trying to say anything
I
that I'm just looking out for him. That's all. I just want him to be safe. I know he knows what he's doing, but just want to make sure that he's all right. And a spot like that is not healthy. It really isn't. So,
yeah.
no, and just real quick to go back to the, you know, or to piggyback off of that. I mean, we know Mox has had a history with substance abuse. He was in rehab a couple of years ago for alcohol.
mhm.
And I hate to bring up the obvious parallel, but I'm going to anyway. Who else do we know of? Who else are we fans of that has been through who that put their bodies through hell earlier on in their career and ended up having all kinds of drug and substance and all that abuse
Yep.
issues?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want that for Mox.
No, I mean, from what I understand, he's still sober. Um, but I also know that I don't want him hunched over for the rest of his life. I mean,
No.
hardcore wrestling does take a toll on people after a while. So, I mean, like I said, one wrestler actually died during the middle of a match. So, but thankfully he came back to life. So it was, it's things like that. I mean, that's why it's ironic that I'm with a hardcore wrestler, but I'm like, I've already told them flat out I'm never going to one of their matches when they do that because as much as I love that person, I don't want to see them bleed. I'd be just like Colette Foley at the Royal Rumble. I would just be sitting there crying my eyes out, not wanting to look, just like this,
Yep.
you know. So so AEW, figure out your identity and please try to cut it
Tone
out.
it
I know,
down.
yeah, tone it down a bit because you're a good company. I don't know what the hell. At what point did you start losing your direction? It's like, and not for nothing. I love Mox, but can we have a new world champion for a while, please?
I thought he was.
I
I
think
thought
we
he
get
was.
it.
Hmm.
I think
Oh,
we get it at Dynasty.
Yeah, and actually, my friend Vanessa is actually going to that show in Boston, so hopefully they'll be there for that one.
Not Dynamite, Dynasty.
Oh, it was announced that it
Dynasty's
was
in
gonna.
Philadelphia.
Oh, because there's a special show that's being taped in Boston that's AEW. It's like a special
Yeah, that's
dynamite.
a Dynamite. That's a Dynamite. Dynasty is the pay-per-view in
Ah,
two
okay,
weeks.
gotcha. All right,
okay.
so let's flip it on over to WWE. Once again, we had John Cena on Monday cutting one of his promos, and he actually rolled it back to the kid he pointed out in the crowd. And I,
Yep,
I will say this: I do kind of agree with them. It was kind of weird that he pointed out the obvious. The kid who got singled out in the audience turned into a meme within 24 hours. And he called everybody out on that. And I have to agree with him. It is kind of strange to put a kid like that on blast. So, but the
it
kid said
is.
in an interview that he didn't realize till afterwards what happened, and he's well aware of the fact that John Cena's just playing a character, so he's all right with it.
Yeah,
And
and
apparently it's still rooting for him.
Yeah.
eh, I mean, yeah, I don't want to. I'm like, so how does everyone feel about John Cena being a heel? I mean, after all this time, he's finally became the heel that everybody wanted him to be.
Be careful what you wish for.
It's
You just might get it.
I think it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice a slight little tweak in his hat?
No.
Uh,
If you
I haven't.
look where okay, you know how we used to say you can't use see me, but the C was in the little um warning
Yeah,
logo?
you can't. It's basically you can't see me.
Okay. It's gone.
Mm.
Somebody pointed that out. If you look at his hat from last week compared to a month before, the slash is gone. Now it says you see me. You can see me.
Oh, all right. Um,
Well, I
you
think it's
know,
related to the fact that it is the last time you will see him.
Mm-hmm.
right. Going back to Elimination Chamber, Travis Scott legit clocking Cody.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Give him a nice shiner too, and also what he bust his eardrum,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is not pleasant.
Like,
Mm-mm.
did anybody give this man a heads up as to okay, we're gonna let you get a free shot in, but please be careful of what? He just went in and said, all right, bet, and just clocked this dude. I mean, if I was Cody, I would have just started giving him a two-piece right then and there.
Maybe
I'm
he didn't
sorry.
realize until after the fact that he hit him as hard as he did.
Well, once he figured it
One
out,
would hope.
I was like, Travis had. I hope he got out of there before Cody figured it out. Hey, I'm pretty sure Triple H had a few words with him before he got out
Oh, I'm pretty
because
sure he gave him the riot act.
there was no reason to give that dude hit that dude that hard.
Oh, he gave him a hell of a shiner.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice one too, as far as shiners go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I'm just figuring this whole thing with John Cena is the fact that I said it before on the last episode we had is like to me he's going the direction of the toxic boyfriend, which I think is kind of funny considering the fact that my ex was a toxic guy. The fact that he's like blaming everybody that fact that he's the way that he is. He's like, you made me a joke for this long. You turned me into a meme. Basically it's your fault that I'm like this. You people are the ones to blame. And I'm just and once he did it again on Monday, like I said, he put the audience on blast for putting the kid as a meme and stuff like that, and how he's sick and tired of it. We're not getting new music. We're not going to go back to basic thugonomics. He's still going to come out with the shirt and the hat and the towel. He's not going to change. Why should he? And is he right?
Well,
Is it the fans' fault that John Cena was made into a joke?
he has changed because he's not. He's. I'm trying to think of what's the best word. He's very stone faced now.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
is.
I mean, you could practically turn into stone if you looked at him the right way, Medusa
homeboy,
style.
Mm-hmm.
and you notice how homeboy just as soon as he turned heel, he just is like all of his years just ended up right on his face. He ended up being the old man telling the kids to get off his lawn.
It's kind of giving me throwbacks to when he was Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad. Because
I
Mm.
not the
think that's.
TV show
I
where he
think
was more
that's what he's going
comical.
for.
Yeah, not the TV show where he was more comical, but the movie, The Suicide Squad, where he was a more wicked character. Because remember, his character was he's making sure that America has peace, even as he has to sacrifice every man, woman, and child to do it. That's basically what he's doing right now.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say the only time I've ever seen Peacemaker is through the game, through as his guest character in MK1. That's sad. I
Oh yeah,
know.
off topic. How is that? How is it playing him as as Peacemaker?
First of all, he was a very fun character to play. I've met. It's been a while since I mastered his character. He is a little eagerly is his like his partner. So like in most of his moves, he'll call out eagerly. He'll come out and do what he needs to do, and he flies off. But he's very much like the character in the show that you were talking about, more on the
Hmm.
comical side, and also he has an interaction with T-1000 Robert Patrick, who plays his dad.
Yes.
So there's a little interaction between the T-1000 and Peacemaker in some of their intros. So
Now, did you play the whole thing through to finish his storyline?
oh yeah,
Like the towers? Was it
yeah,
funny?
yeah, it was. He was happy that he got pulled into the MK world, and now he can just go kill people without issues. So, you know,
Nice. So,
uh,
with that being said, of course, Cody Rhodes came out again,
like
and this time John Cena walked away. He tried calling him back. He was like, "Come back here if you're a man. Come back here, face me." It looked like John Cena was going to, and then he turned around and walked out. Now, I have to say though, this build up for WrestleMania, I'm really actually getting behind it. I mean, I'm actually all for this whole thing because now it's making me question who's going to walk out of WrestleMania as the champion.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do we really suspect that John Cena is gonna walk out of WrestleMania as a 17-time champion?
I mean, he has The
Well, they
Rock in
wouldn't
his
put
back
out
pocket.
merch,
What's
Huh?
that?
and they wouldn't put out merch that basically promotes it if it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I read, I think it was Wrestling News Source that said that this heel turn is going to be for about 2 or 3 months. So we're looking at from now till about maybe just before SummerSlam.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I don't think they want to end his career with him as a bad guy.
Yeah, I think that's yeah. I think John Cena's kind of started off as a kind of heelish freak in the beginning, but then just ended up being so cool. He just ended up running with his baby face for as long as he did. So, and he even had at one point had this whole thing set up that he wanted when he tried to pitch the heel thing to Vince, and Vince was like no. So now he gets the chance to do what he wanted to do from back then.
But
Um,
he hasn't gone all the way with it though because of the whole. I mean, he had all this new stuff prepared for it, and he's not using it.
right. Which kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to see what he would do with it. Let's
But you
see.
never know. There's still time. I mean, he has until December 31st.
All right. Um,
Because he said it'll go up until the end of the year. And I think the last week of December they're gonna have the show his like swan song in Boston. So
yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania, I've been hearing about the prices just to go to the show. Like, I'm not understanding why the WWE is making. I understand WrestleMania being very expensive. I went to two, so
yeah,
yeah, I
so you
know the
have
price.
experience with it.
But if I had decided to go to Las Vegas for this WrestleMania, looking at the prices, that'll turn me away real quick.
Well, I
I'm
have a
like,
friend of mine. He already bought his ticket, so he's going regardless. Um, and remember, up until a few months ago, I was gonna go to Vegas, but I knew I was not going to the show. I was gonna watch it at my sister's house. Um, but people will pay money for it. I mean, there's actually, did anyone see that? I forget how much it was, but a luncheon with Triple H and Lex Luger was anywhere. I think it was like $5,000 to $8,000.
No, see, I calculated that. I'm like, that's a probably a year worth of mortgage. No, no, thank you. I
Hmm.
mean, I like Triple H, but no,
Yeah, that's a year's rent for me. So yeah,
I can't do
it's a
that.
bit much.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Let's.
oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say I pulled it up on StubHub, and right now the cheapest tickets just for Saturday, $274.
That's the cheapest.
That's the
And,
cheapest for Saturday
and that's
through
nosebleed.
StubHub.
Right.
Basically, for Sunday it's 286. And here's the kicker: that one is a limited or obstructed view.
So in other
Ugh.
words, you could be behind one of the poles.
I'm
It
mad as
looks
hell.
like it's going to end up behind the. It looks like it's going to end up upper level behind the Titantron.
I'll be mad as hell. No.
But actually,
Yeah.
I think I've sat in that kind of an area before. You actually can look down and see the wrestlers going in and out. So there's that at least.
So that
Hmm.
was like my ticket for Bad Blood. I was behind the Titantron. I could see the wrestlers going out and stuff. I could
Hmm.
see that. So that was cool. That was fine. But that was for one of the smaller pay-per-views, right? Or I'm sorry, PLEs. But when you're talking about the big four, I need to see. I need to see I need to see the people. I
Yeah.
don't have the camera side. I don't have to be by the camera, camera side. I don't need to be on TV. I just need a good
But
view
I think
of
most
the
people are
stage.
willing to pay for that because even if they're far away or have a limited view, they could at least say they've been to WrestleMania. So
Right.
I can understand that. I mean, if I had my way, yeah, if I had my way to go into Vegas, like I would be saving money because I'd be staying with my sister. But if I had a way of getting that kind of cash, flying out and going to WrestleMania, even if I had to pay that much, I'll be honest with you, I probably would. I probably would. Just to at least say that I've been there.
Yeah, I'm just waiting
But
for
I
him to
do
come.
Okay.
understand the closer that you get, the higher the price. Now that right there, I don't think I could pay crazy prices for that. Like I know ringside must be in the thousands.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's why I
You
usually pay
want to
some.
take a guess?
Oh,
Take a guess.
25 2,500.
Keep
5,000.
going. Keep going.
Yeah,
Huh?
10,
3,500.
Keep going higher.
11.
50.
The most expensive ticket I could find right now, and this is just, and it's for Saturday only.
Oh,
$13,213.
no.
Oh hell, if we were playing prices right, I would have won. Um oh, 13,000.
Thirteen
And that's
thousand
just
two
one
hundred
night.
thirteen.
Yeah, that's
That's
just for
one night.
mm-hmm.
And then think about it. That's a whole weekend. You got fan access, you got NXT, you got WrestleMania, and
No,
you
no, no,
got
no.
Monday
That's
Night Raw.
right. That's just for one night of the show.
Right. So I mean, I'm just thinking, if you're that person that's going to everything, wow.
You don't even want to know how expensive the 2 day pass is
No,
for a
I
single
want to
ticket.
know.
I just found $17,881
For a 2 day pass.
for a 2 day pass in the 100 level.
God, 100. Oh my God, man.
In the
Dang.
100 level, basically the sideline, what would be the sideline of an NFL game.
Now think about that. If you're just going by yourself, That's fine. But imagine you're taking your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your brother, your sister, grandma, does not matter. Multiply that. That's a good chunk of change that you're spending for WrestleMania. Now, if you don't mind me asking, JC, but do you remember approximately how much you spent for WrestleMania? Give or take a ballpark.
Uh,
And you went to 20, you went to two of them, right? You went to 27.
27 and 34. 27, and I was in like the 100 section. I think I spent like about 180 for my ticket. This is back in, okay, and I'm talking about 20 WrestleMania 27, 2011. I spent
Mm-hmm.
about 180 for whatever. That's for my ticket. I was in the 100 section. And see, and also since I live in Atlanta, I didn't have to worry about hotel, transportation, all that.
Right.
And WrestleMania at that time was only one night. Um, and I think I also went to the Raw afterward too. I think. Yeah, I did. I think I went to the Raw afterward. So
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, because that was when it wasn't that when it was announced John Cena versus The Rock.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, you did go to that one.
Now WrestleMania 34.
That was the one in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, yeah. I gotta remember. I think I ended up spending like, and I bought two tickets for me and my cousin, and we were in the nosebleeds. So that same price that I spent for a ticket back then in 2011 times two, but in the nosebleeds. I was like in the 300 section, and I was a little bit behind the Titantron. So, it is what it is. I think at that time I was just happy to be there. So, and and the hotel, my uncle paid for that one. That was like 500 and some change for the hotel. For like I think I got there Friday. No, I got there Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. We left on Monday. Um,
Real quick, I out of curiosity, I did check for two tickets for a 2 night pass,
yeah.
$741 a piece in the
Hmm.
Yeah,
nosebleeds.
no.
So almost $1,500.
Almost $1,500 sit in the
I would get
nosebleeds.
I would get
That's
my home if I was taking my cousin,
Basically,
bro. You paying for your own ticket, bro.
basically it is the nosebleeds
Wow.
because yeah, basically it is the nosebleeds because I mean this is section 434, ninth row. Let's see. Let me see if I can't zoom
Now
in
keep
on
in
it.
mind, folks, we're not trying to, discourage anybody. If you have the chance to go, go. Have fun.
Yes, definitely.
Say that you've
Absolutely.
been there. JC can say that she's been to WrestleMania twice. I mean, I have yet to go to one of the big four. My son might be going to SummerSlam later this summer. So yeah, I know at some point in my life I will experience one of the big four. I want to. So we're not discouraging it. It's just, you know,
No,
for some of us who unfortunately have a very limited income, it just kind of boggles our mind because we want to go, but we also know that our wallets are saying, uh-uh, you know.
Right. But then you gotta also think about WrestleMania is kind of like the Super Bowl for wrestling. If you want to put it in perspective, you got people coming from around the world to come to this
Mm-hmm.
one area. So, how somebody in the United States will be able to afford it is vastly different from the person that's coming from like um Europe.
England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I think the one fan I interviewed one year came all the way from Brisbane, Australia for WrestleMania. So
You
think
gotta
about
imagine,
that.
remember, they're going like that's like what 10 whatever hours on a plane. Then they gotta get the hotel, transportation, food, and they're probably going to fan access too.
Mm-hmm.
And those fan accesses like um the t-shirts go from like what your excuse me typical what $30 to about $45 each. Um
Something like
And a
that.
little extra if you're getting above a 2X.
right, and then like the action figures and all that. And I hate to say this, like when I went to Bad Blood, I walked out of there. I probably was like I spent 350, four t-shirts and a Money in the Bank briefcase.
But it's
Hey,
worth it.
Oh
It's
no, and
worth
the two Funko Pops, I forgot those. So yeah. So just imagine. So, I mean, like I said, this is like we're saying, we're not discouraging anybody from going to these PLEs. They're fun to go to. You meet people, you get some exciting action, you get some souvenirs, and you get a story to tell for years to come.
hmm
But just letting you know, it's an expensive experience. Just put it
And
that
she
way.
speaks from experience.
Yeah.
I've been to a
Only
few PLEs myself. I've been to, some of the smaller ones. I've been to a King of the Ring. I've been to Backlash. I've been to Armageddon. Um, what
Hell in
else?
a
we were in
Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
We went to
Yeah,
Hell
we
in a
went to
Cell. All of us went to Hell in a Cell. My sister went to. Oh, speaking of which, um, to go on, my sister went to the very first Evolution. It was announced. It might be announced soon. We're getting Evolution 2.
Yes. Yes, I'm
About
so
time.
happy. Yeah, we should have had about three or four by now, but I'm glad it
Yep,
came.
it's
It was
being
getting
reported that
on.
WWE is considering bringing back Evolution, and it might be. And from what I understand, it's going to be actually a stone's throw away from me. It's going to be at the Mohegan Sun in Uncas, Connecticut. So
Mm,
so it may happen. It looks like it's going to be a summertime pay per view. So I'm really excited for that. Like JC said, there should have been at least three or four between the last one to the today. We've had many, many, many female superstars in WWE, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and even now with the TNA crossover, we can have some of the TNA girls come on over and have some fun.
right.
So
You know,
it I can't wait.
now we're talking about evolution. I kind
We
of
should have had 7 by now.
right.
hmm
I kind of low key wish they would bring the Mae Young Classic back too. So
Yeah, there's a lot of talented women on the independent scene that are becoming growing in popularity. So it's definitely something. And Jeremy's right. Yeah, we should have had seven between what was it, 2018?
2018.
2018. Yep. And
That
now,
actually, this should be the 7th one.
yeah,
yeah. So it's about time, and I'm very grateful that they're going to be doing it. And now that I find out if what they announced is true and it is going to be in Connecticut,
go
I'm not gonna promise anything. I'm not gonna cry if I don't go. I mean, that's what Peacock is for. But I would
Uh,
love to go to Evolution and see all those talented women on the roster and just watch and have fun. So fingers crossed that's gonna happen. And speaking of women, we have the issue happening with the triple threat. Well, we don't know if it's gonna be a triple threat yet. We do know that Rhea Ripley interrupted the contract signing and wrote her name on the contract, and Adam Pierce, frustrated with everything going on, trying to tell them that and he was finally able to say it, that this Monday, live from Glasgow or London?
no, London.
London, thank
none.
you. Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
were
they
in
just
Glasgow this Monday,
let's go.
this
Let's
past
go.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, they were. Thank you. But this one in London, and I think this is the last one of the European tour.
I think
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
we're gonna have a rematch. We're gonna have Io Sky defending her title against Rhea Ripley. But then it was later announced that the special guest referee will be Bianca Belair.
Not the cat.
Yeah, not you, Kitty Cat,
The
but
human.
the human. Now, not for
Man,
nothing, but why don't they just announce the triple threat at this point? We know what's going to
I'm
happen on Monday.
yeah, I can just see it right now. That's just not gonna. That's gonna end up being a whole mess. and it's gonna end up. I know at some point Io just gonna start throwing hands on both of them because for some reason when Rhea and Bianca get into an argument, they just try to brush off Io. And Io like, hey, I'm the champion. Y'all gotta give me respect.
I think
So
it's probably what's going to wind up happening. Rhea's probably going to get up in Bianca's face. Bianca's probably going to shove her. Rhea's going to slap her, and then that's going to lead to a disqualification. And like you said, Io's going to be standing there like, yo, 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 and the both of them, I don't know, like trying to shoo off a fly. And of course, that fly turns into a mosquito and starts stinging them both. So, yeah, we
and
already
then
know.
also I don't know. And then also Bianca got her own thing going on over here with Naomi and Jade. So that could at some point come in and some because Jade already said she doesn't trust Bianca and she don't trust Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, with this and this with this issue over here and with this issue over there, Bianca gotta look all over, gotta make sure she has her head on a swivel.
Yeah, definitely. So she's definitely got a lot going on right now. So it makes me wonder if maybe this matchup, is I mean, I want to see this match happen. I mean, personally, I thought it was going to be Bianca versus Rhea. Not taking anything away from Io because Io is a fantastic performer. I absolutely love her. Um, but yeah, if we're gonna do this, just like I said, just give us a triple threat. So we already know how the match is going to end on Monday, and you know, leading into it. So it's definitely going to be something to look forward to. Um,
Um,
but before we go on a personal note, and I understand that it's part of the character and everything, I do not like Grande Americano. I'm sorry. It is one of the dumbest ideas I have ever seen. And I mean, gracias. Come on, really? It's like,
We know
uh,
who it is.
yeah,
oh, you got my chat. Oh, Lord.
yeah. Old Chad Gable being Grande Americano. It's like, really?
Yeah, I took
I'm
me a
just like,
couple stitch on
no.
what you were talking about. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah, the luchador. Please.
Man,
I've seen better luchadors than some of the independence groups around here.
but um, but we're waiting on that one special person, or Penta's waiting on that one special person. Oh, I can't wait. I just can't wait. So,
But the thing is that he's not going to Raw. He's going to SmackDown.
I mean, they're gonna probably put him over there just for one, just to get.
Oh no,
They
you're right.
probably,
At some
I
point,
think we get there.
yeah.
I think we
yeah.
get to
I think they
that
want to
to the
build Ray
tag
up
team.
first on his own before we get that team back together. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I mean, I
Mm.
love them since Lucha Underground. So I was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, since we're all talking about a triple threat, this is a good segue. Um, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, yo, when Roman came back to get his lick back from when Seth stomped his head in, not just stomped it with both feet, and he still got, and then Seth still got this beef with what is it? Seth got this beef with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you know, Paul Heyman still got to give CM Punk that favor. So when that whole thing, when they started fighting each other, and then Roman looked around and saw what was it, Heyman trying to comfort or trying to talk to CM Punk, and he just said, "What?" He's basically, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
Oh man! So I think tonight, if you
It's
haven't
not
seen
just a
the
beef; it's a whole side of the cow. I mean, he is not happy with Punk at all. And Roman Reigns is not happy that Punk is talking to his wise man. And, Seth is not happy that Punk is back in WWE. Nobody's happy in this match. Nobody.
Nope,
Seth just
they're
got
not.
just got beef with CM Punk. I mean, okay, so there was a rumor that was going around. It was proven to be false. That said that Dave Meltzer said that
Oh well, there is a
he didn't
source, of course.
right that he didn't understand why they were fighting. There was no history, and well, it was proven to be false anyway. But just let's just say that he did say that. Now, yeah, yeah, he probably did. But anyway, to say that they don't have history when there's a lot of things that could have been that pointed out. For one, you know, CM Punk and Paul Heyman have history. Paul Heyman is with Roman now as his wise man. Um, and CM Punk was the one that said make Roman look strong. So, and Roman didn't never Roman even back then when he heard that he never liked that being said about him. So he already off the bat he don't like when CM Punk he don't like CM Punk because CM Punk low key talked about him. There's some like indie history between CM Punk and Seth Rollins that kind of flowed into WWE. And if anybody knows the history, the Shield was initially supposed to be the backup for CM Punk. So
I remember
yeah,
that.
it's like
But they
yeah,
shot
it's
that
like
down real quick. Nope. We all know
right,
that's where that meme came from.
right. So it's like a whole bunch of I mean, even you know, even if you like didn't even know a little, if you only knew bits and pieces, there is history between everyone there. Um, dang, now I kind of wish. What if we had Moxley back and he was in the mix? Oh man, that
Mm,
sucked. Not that the
be a
incident was
fatal
sucked.
four-way then.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to let's just say I want to throw this out there because it kind of always it went back to my mind. What if Moxley decided to come back to the WWE and and people are like, oh yeah, the Shield is back. You think Moxley, not Ambrose, but Moxley, because I don't think he's ever going to go back to the Ambrose gimmick.
Mm-mm.
If Moxley was going to be there and handle one the tribal chief, because the tribal chief, because remember Roman and Dean or Roman and John were kind of homeboys back then.
Well, all of them
So
were.
yeah, but Roman and Dean were more
Mm-hmm.
friends than Seth was. Right at the back, Dean or Moxley's gonna go after Seth because he ain't forgot what happened. The North
Nope.
remembers. But how would he handle the tribal chief? Because at one point, the tribal chief was kind of like his what was it? His friend, and he was like learning from Dean or Moxley. But now he's kind of his own thing, doing his own thing now. You think that Moxley's gonna tolerate the tribal chief?
As he once said,
Um,
nope.
Yeah.
oh hell no.
Mm-mm.
Nah, cause Roman would probably be thinking, okay, cool, I got this ally, and he'll do anything I ask him to.
Not a
But
chance in hell.
for
Moxley
real,
tell him flat out, nope.
nope. It is. I don't know who this person is. I know who
That's
Roman
definitely
Reigns is.
some fantasy booking right
Oh,
there. That was definitely something I would love to see. But
oh
this is
God,
definitely
yeah.
going to be this battle is definitely going to be, I'm pretty sure to be the main event of night one. Um, so it's definitely going to be something to behold, and no one's going to hold anything back. This is definitely going to be
Oh
one of the
no,
more
they
emotional
are.
matches.
Oh no. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
the fact that Roman was trying to take off Seth's head. Woo, nah.
Yeah, you think?
Roman
Oof.
didn't forget either. He knows how Seth is. Seth
Mm-hmm.
created them. Seth can't be mad at Roman because Seth created that monster. The night he put that chair in Roman's back, and Roman has never gotten his revenge until now. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get excited, but for
Oh,
real, I
that's
mean,
fine. It's fine. It's a match you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this match myself. I mean, this is one of the like three matches I'm looking forward to. But speaking of another possible triple threat that might be happening, we might be having something for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, as we know, Braun Breaker had his match with Penta on Monday. Oh no, not Penta. Finn Balor on Monday, to which Dominic foolishly cost him the title.
Oh
And
Lord,
well, earlier in the evening, Dominic tried offering Penta a shot at joining the Judgment Day, and at one point he gave Penta the chair to beat up Braun Breaker with, and Penta was like, "No," and threw the chair at him and kicked the chair, pretty much telling him flat out, "No, I'm not joining the Judgment Day," which then led to a beatdown from the Judgment Day on both Braun Breaker and Penta. But let's not forget the fact that Finn lost the match because of Dominic's foolishness. So you know he's going to want to try to go for the title again. So I've been seeing rumors that it might be Penta versus Finn versus Braun for the Intercontinental Championship. Do you think that should happen, or do you think it should just be Penta and Braun?
I
I'd be
think
fine with the triple threat.
yeah, same here. I was just saying it.
All right. No, I can see that happening. I mean, I'm fine with it too. I mean, I just wanted to, ask your guys your opinion because I know a lot of people out there, because I'm thinking, is this one triple threat too many?
Uh, it's close, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I'm not a fan of the women's match being a triple threat already.
Yeah,
I do think that Cena, or I'm sorry, I think that CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins has a reason to be a triple threat. It makes sense. And uh, the problem is, how do you not end up hurting one? Let's see. You got Penta, who should absolutely not be taking a loss right now. You got Finn, who he's Teflon, but at the same time, the Judgment Day is starting to look kind of eh. And then you got Braun Breaker, who I think is doing a good job as champion. I just don't know who you take. You have to take the loss.
yeah.
Any
Shoot, I don't know.
what?
I mean,
Oh.
what?
Well, I don't mean this. Well, as we know, SmackDown is in Europe and the show's happening right now, and spoilers are coming up as we speak. And as of it's official, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk will main event WrestleMania night one.
Oh, night one. Shoot.
And but as
Okay.
it turns out, I thought it was something else, but it was being hinted that maybe that was the favor. It's not.
Oh shit. What happened?
That's where the show ends.
Fudge. Okay. Well,
We
see,
all
I
thought,
didn't.
I thought too, I was reading it. I thought the favor was going to be Paul Heyman making sure that Punk would main event WrestleMania. That's not the favor.
You know.
No.
No.
Well.
And actually Punk kind of quoted Roddy Piper because he said, I am here to chew bubblegum and sign a contract, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice.
If you know, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, spoiler, folks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about the show. But
Yep.
for right now, we know that night one's WrestleMania, the main event will be the triple threat between Seth, Roman, and Punk.
You think night two the shoot.
Night two, I would assume, is the WWE
Yeah,
Championship.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Jay versus Gunther. Oh, speaking of Gunther, did you see what Jimmy did to that
boy, took a chance with that one.
I read this. Somebody said that Jimmy slapped Gunther so hard he went back to Walter in all caps.
That was a hard. I was watching that live. I came home in time. I was working, but I came home in time to see that, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
He
ow!"
slapped the yeet out of
I
him.
don't think Gunther was expecting that slap.
No, I don't think he was expecting that either. I think honestly, I think it was just gonna be Jimmy challenging him, and then because that was a look of legit shock on his face, getting slapped like that.
I mean, wow. He said, well, you don't slip up like your brother. And Jimmy like, all right, slap. I said, everybody was like,
I was like, he slapped him back to Austria. I mean, just wow. So
Speaking of
yeah, this
Austria, they're in Austria this weekend at some point.
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
actually we talked about that. I think it's tomorrow they're in Austria. So yeah, it was
man.
so this Monday it'll be Jimmy Uso versus Gunther. Um, as we know, Jay's having his issues with Gunther. It's going to be leading up to him facing Gunther at WrestleMania for the WWE title. Um, which I have a feeling is probably going to be on night one as well. It's probably going to be the second match before the main event. Um, because the main event, obviously for night two, is going to be Cody versus Cena. Um,
Oh,
well, I have a feeling that the SmackDown Championship will be for the women will be on Saturday, and the Raw Women's Championship will be on Sunday. So that's what I'm thinking. And so okay, so far the only titles we know that are being defended are both women's championships, both the world titles, and possibly the Intercontinental Championship. Is that right?
probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, don't they have another match? Don't they have is it oh shoot, what's the oh man, I can't forget. Oh no, yeah. Um um Drew versus Damien before they happened at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. Has that been officially
That's
announced?
not for a title.
I know it's not for a title, but I'm just saying is that the way they're booked, they're going for it. I think that's gonna be at WrestleMania. And one of those
Yeah.
nights as an opening match, or like the second match, after the
Yeah,
first open.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be at WrestleMania. I don't know which night, but I don't see it being. I see it being either the opener or probably like after the opener.
Yeah, I definitely see that match happening at WrestleMania. So it's definitely that's a definite. I'm gonna probably go with your idea. It's probably gonna go with night one. So of course I would
You
love to
know.
see Damian Priest enter in with Bad Bunny again, but that's just me.
And
Yep.
we know that match is gonna be like these are two big dudes that just literally legit hit each other.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if it's anything like that triple threat between Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew, I'm
That's
good.
that's a whole lot of meat.
They were like okay, just start hitting people, and that was it. I was like,
That's
all right,
basically what it was. And it was considered one of the better Intercontinental matches on WWE cards. So, both competitors can really bring it when they need to. So that this is definitely one match I'm definitely looking forward to. So I can't wait for it. All right, so switching over to other WrestleMania events, it was announced this week officially that the Natural Disasters are the newest Hall of Fame inductees. Typhoon and Earthquake. John Tenta, who was Earthquake, Typhoon, who Tugboat, who was played by Fred Ottoman, who's from here in the New England area. Congratulations to both of them. I think it is definitely due. I'm really happy. And from what I'm reading, apparently they're now going to start inducting matches into the Hall of Fame, with the tentative first one being Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13.
ooh, I
Another
quit.
SmackDown spoiler that has been announced.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, so now they're going to be inducting matches, which is fine. I mean, that match itself was history making because it was um, first time the two of them faced each other, but it was also kind of like the turning point for Stone Cold Steve Austin's character because he kind of
Yeah,
went from
like
being a heel to being a babyface because he refused to give up. I mean, everyone knows that famous image of him in the sharpshooter with the crimson mask falling on his face and him just passing out. He never tapped out, never said I quit. Ken Shamrock, who was the special guest referee at the time, said, he's out, he's out, ring the bell, he's out, he's out. So it was definitely a turning point for both of their careers. So I think it's really awesome. And um this will make Bret Hart and Steve Austin both two-time Hall of Fame inductees. So
yeah.
yep, so congratulations to both of them. It's definitely worth it. So I gotta ask each of you, if you had to induct one match, one WrestleMania match into the Hall of Fame, what match would you induct?
Oh,
And
come
JC, you have
on.
an advantage because you've been to two WrestleManias. So
Yeah. I
Come
mean,
on. Isn't an obvious one involving somebody that you're a huge fan of versus a WCW, well, NWO uh, legend? We're talking about HBK, Razor Ramon.
you would think that
oh,
I
yeah.
would pick that one, but oddly enough, no, that's not the match I would put in the Hall of Fame. But you
That's
do
the one
have
I
the right.
picked.
Okay, that's your pick. All right, JC, how about you? Who would you? I thought you were asking me that question, but your pick is Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, the very first ladder match at WrestleMania 10
No,
for the Intercontinental Championship. No, that was Jeremy's pick.
no. Mine is all right. The tables, ladders, and chairs match for WWE Tag Team Champion, WrestleMania 17.
Mm-hmm. Hardy
The
Boys,
Hard
Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
With that infamous moment of Jeff being dangled by the belt and Edge spearing him to oblivion 20 feet off the 20 feet to the ground.
There you go.
Yep, that's
So,
definitely Hall of Fame worthy. Um,
So,
okay, so you guys are gonna be shocked. I know I love WrestleMania. WrestleMania is one of my favorites. Jeremy is right. The person, one of the participants in it is Shawn Michaels. So of course that you got to narrow that down because that's Mr. WrestleMania.
mm,
um, but believe it or not, it's the one match that makes me cry every single time I watch it because no matter how many times I watch it, I know the ending, I know the outcome. And actually, they showed a clip of it earlier today, and that's Career versus Street, WrestleMania 26.
ooh.
Because as much as
that's
WrestleMania
also a great one.
25 was an awesome match between the two of them, considered one of the best top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time, Career versus Streak was more emotional because it had me on the edge of my seat. Oh my god, I just got I'm getting emotional just explaining it. It had me at the edge of my seat because as much as I wanted the streak to continue, I didn't want Shaw's. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I still cry to this day as he's walking away. It's like, don't leave. It's like, don't leave. And then don't get me started on the speech the night after. But yeah, that's my Hall of Fame inductee. It should be within the next couple of years. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, career versus streak. How about you out there in the comments? Let us know what match do you want to see inducted into the Hall of Fame? Let us know. And
yep.
are they just going to keep it to WrestleMania, or do you think they're going to do it for all the pay per views, especially the big four?
I think it's all of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for this episode, we'll just stick with WrestleMania. So, because obviously they're going with WrestleMania too. So, I mean, not WrestleMania 2, I mean WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
Even though WrestleMania 2 was historic in its way because it was held in three different arenas. So, So yeah, definitely something worth checking out. Oh, if you guys have a few minutes after the show, a YouTube channel Watch Mojo did a top 20 wrestlers performing in movies. It's actually a pretty interesting list, and you can pretty much guess who number one is, but I'm not going to say who it is. But let's just say that I quoted him earlier in the show. So that I'm not going to
Uh-huh.
spoil. You know, pretty much some of you've already figured it out. So so you guys, WrestleMania is in 3 weeks.
April
Yes.
19th, and am I right?
April 19th and 20th.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah,
Um,
April April
yep, they're definitely building up to this, as well as I know that entire day for me, Saturday the 19th is going to be very fulfilling, very filled for me because I'm going to be watching Stand and Deliver right before WrestleMania. So I don't know how much adrenaline I'm going to have that day. And Stand and Deliver is already shaping up to be very interesting. What do you guys think of this new group that's attacking in NXT? They officially call themselves Dark State.
One word, retribution.
Mhm.
I was thinking 2 words, Nexus wannabe.
Yeah,
They're trying
that
they
that
trying to
too.
yeah, they're trying to fix what they I guess, get a do-over because they botched Retribution horribly.
Yeah, they did. That was bad. I get where they're going with this, and I'm curious to see um like there are two names that have been tossed around as a possible leader. One being Javon Evans, which would make sense because he's an up and comer, younger, and these guys are young and up and coming. And the second name I'm seeing tossed around is Trick Williams, which
That would
yeah,
be
JC just said it
interesting.
without saying it.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
my face.
Mm-hmm. We all have subtitle faces, so you know we know exactly what you're thinking. And Jeremy, you said that would be interesting.
I think Trick
Why am I
as
here?
the leader would be interesting.
Oh, oh yeah, I do have it. While we were talking, I was like, why am I hearing Cody Rhodes in the background? I realized I forgot I had my TV on USA. I heard him singing Cody Rhodes' thing. I was like, wait, I didn't realize.
It is
Yeah,
8:05.
yeah.
Yep. So the United States broadcast is happening right now on USA. So sorry, we already spoiled the ending, folks. Well, actually, no. By the time this is up on YouTube, the show is already going to be over. So
And Netflix, so they put the live stream up. Oh, I forgot. That's Raw. Sorry. So,
Remember,
uh,
SmackDown's
yeah,
3 hours, so maybe it won't.
yeah.
through that, um, yeah, I will say though, I do appreciate the fact of Netflix being on in the afternoon because it actually can watch it. Because usually by the time Raw comes on at 8 o'clock, I'm so exhausted from work I just pass out. So so yeah, I'm grateful whenever they go over to Europe because it's early in the afternoon. I can watch it, no problem, all set. But as far as NXT goes, all right, I have to ask this. Now, as we know, Stephanie Becker is the current current world champion as well as the North American women's champion. They made reference to the fact that she is a dual champion. However, Mandy, the woman formerly known as Mandy Rose, has stated that technically she was a double champion because not only did she have the world championship, but she was part of um Toxic Toxic Attraction, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who were technically the tag team champions. So she was part of that faction. So she was actually considered a dual champion with them. Do you think she was valid in her comments saying that WWE shouldn't have glossed over her like that?
I want to say yes and no.
Okay.
On the one hand, yeah, she was a double champ, but let's not forget who else has been a double champion in WWE. Certain Irish last kicker.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true.
But the other, but the reason I say no is because if I'm not mistaken, that was pre North American and US or North American titles. So yeah,
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that because, yeah, technically, if you want to get technical, Becky Lynch was the first woman to hold two world championships at the same time. Becky two belts. Um, and Mandy Rose, yeah, she may have been the dual champion, but she wasn't the first dual singles champion because you're right.
yes,
The North American Championship at that point was just the men's title. And then they created the women's title, I want to say like 3 years afterwards. No, last year.
last year.
They created the North American Championship. My mistake, because it was after the pandemic, and you know, uh, Leilani,
Kai
no, Jordan,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Leon Jordan.
Leilani
Yeah.
Jordan is the first woman to become the North American champion. So, so yeah, she's Stephanie Vaquera is the first dual champion as far as like singles titles go. So, with all due respect to Mandy Rose, yeah, she did have the women's title and the tag team titles, but this is more about the singles championship. So I get her reasoning,
Come
but
back
at the
so
same
bad.
time, go ahead, JC.
Like, she want to come back so bad. Come on back. God dang, man. Cause it seemed like she was picking at Tiffany, and then now she's trying to be well actually about titles. I'm like, just come back at this point.
I know, but I think she's still kind of bitter over how about why she was fired. So yeah, I mean, like I said, with all due respect, it kind of sounds like sour grapes to me.
Yeah, it does.
I understand. I understand why she would say that, and I understand. Yeah, they could have acknowledged the fact that she was in NXT one of the few women to hold one title as well as another title, but we're not talking about the tag team championship. We're talking about the single. Now, if Stephanie Vaquero was one half of the tag team champions and won the title, then I can understand her argument. But we don't have that. Wait a minute. Just thought of something. They finally got rid of the women's tag team titles, didn't they?
Where?
I have
Huh?
not seen the women's tag team champions in a long time.
Raquel and Liv are the champions.
Oh, are they? Oh my God! This goes
Oh,
to show you how tired I am. You know what it is because I haven't seen them defend it in a while. So that's why I almost forgot about that. That's on me, folks. My bad. I'm sorry.
right.
Yeah, because I know people are gonna come after me in the comments. I apologize. But yeah, if Stephanie was the tag team champion as well as the world champion, then yeah, I can understand Mandy's argument. But she's not. She's two singles championships, and she defended both titles on the same night. First against Fallon Henley, the North American
Yep.
Championship, and then the Women's World Championship against Jada Parker. But both matches kind of had a funky ending because of um, what's the name of Fallon Henley's group again?
Chase?
Fatal
No.
Influence.
Fatal influence.
Thank you.
Okay.
We had them interfering, and then the Jada Parker matchup. We had a whole bunch of stuff happening with that one, but basically Jordan Grace making it quite clear that eventually she's going to want the world title. Um, which I'm looking forward to that matchup. I also found out too that the other reason why Julia has not been on TV for a while, not only is she injured, but she's possibly having problems with her visa. So
Ouch.
yeah, so that's another reason why she's off TV for a bit, which stinks, especially considering the current climate. Because the last thing I want is to read a headline reading that she was deported. Um, I'm not trying to put that out there. And I'm not trying to get political, so don't come after me in the comments. Um, but yeah, I know down the line we'll definitely see Stephanie versus Julia again. So that's something definitely I want to see. Um, so yeah, Stand and Deliver is definitely um promising to be fun. And did anyone check out what happened with TNA with the Hardys getting their revenge on Nick Nemeth and the Nemeth brothers after what happened?
Oh no, I
Can't
didn't
say I've
see that.
seen it.
Yeah, well, they were making it quite obvious they were not happy with the fact that Ryan Nemeth attacked Matt Hardy after their matchup a few weeks ago, which
Hmm.
Matt is still kind of having the scars from it.
Man, you better be careful. Rebbe will get mad.
Oh, she's already had a few
You
things to
don't.
say if you follow her on Twitter. So,
Yeah, you don't piss off a weak left.
no, you don't. Take it from take it from my man. He tries never to piss me off.
But
All right, are you excited? I mean, we are definitely in WrestleMania season. April is next month, and once we hit April 1st, we'll be counting down to WrestleMania. I know I definitely am looking forward to I have that entire weekend off. I haven't decided what my menu is going to be for that weekend. Um, so I do know that I do have to order a large cheese pizza for one of my partners. So don't ask.
Oh shoot! I haven't even put together. I got that weekend off too. I haven't even put together a menu yet. I need to get started.
I know
Um,
it's like the Super Bowl. You have to, like you said, it's the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's like you got to prepare what you're gonna make for the weekend, because now it's 2 nights, so you got to have something one night, something the other night.
uh,
you got 3 weeks. You better get on it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
Um, but I've I've been staring at something for about the last 10 minutes.
Jeremy, your reflection is fine. You do see a handsome man looking back at you.
That's not it. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier, and yes, I know where he's gonna be in November.
Yes, but look at May 24th. So
I see it. He's
Las
gonna be in
Vegas.
your neck of the woods.
It has been said that they're petitioning to try to get Sting to put Lex Luger in the Hall of Fame.
yes,
So if he
um,
just
and
happens to
I
have,
think it needs to happen. It
yeah,
does.
I mean, if he just happens to, I don't know, have about a couple hours to kill,
Oh, I think he's going to be there. But
yeah,
the
definitely.
one I'm interested in, since I can't make it to WrestleMania, is GalaxyCon Oklahoma City.
Oh, Jeremy, I would love for you to meet Sting. Yeah, one of
Yeah,
my
I gotta.
yeah, Nina Beretta, whom we interviewed a little while ago, she has definitely made it quite clear that she's going to do whatever she can to get to Comic Con in November so she can meet Sting. So
It is
yeah,
the last chance
yeah. When I
because
told her that, she was like, "Oh, we're doing it." I'm like, "Aisha, we're doing it." We're doing it. I'm like, "Okay." So I'm gonna see about we're gonna see about getting in there. Well, I'm going to Comic Con either way, so it's just a question of whether or not we can afford the photo op for Sting because we know mucho dinero. But Jeremy, I think you meeting Sting, I think that would be amazing. I mean, because you were a WCW person before you went over WWE side, right?
yeah, I was. I grew up uh, late '90s WCW fan. So,
Yep. So you've seen him from his surfer gimmick up until he was the Crow.
not that far back. Not far back. Not that far back. I did see the Crow, but
Oh,
uh,
yeah, sorry. When I think 90s, that's what I go back to. Because that's about the time I saw Sting when he was the surfer gimmick.
that's why I specified late '90s.
Okay, my bad. All right. So let's wrap it up here. Thanks for another wonderful episode. And let's do what we always do. Where can everyone find you? JC, where are you on the socials?
Okay. On X, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky is HardyCat1027. And also, you can find our website at www.squarecirclecafe.com.
All right, Jeremy, where can people find you on the socials?
I'm just gonna make it real simple at Jeremy Moses 85 on the Twitter or X, whatever, whatever we're calling that damn thing. Um, and then my Instagram is on there as is I believe on the show website as well. Let me double check. It's actually at thesquaredcirclecafe.com.
Yeah.
Let me just double check. I think yes, uh my Instagram is Jeremy Moses 282013, and then on YouTube at Public at Large.
All right. Well, this Squared Circle Cafe brought to you under the banner of the My Two Kids Productions, which you can find on YouTube, youtube.com/My Two Kids Productions. You can purchase both of my books on Amazon, Finally Finding and Accepting Myself, as well as From the Mind of the Prospect. You can find all my social media listing on the squarecirclecafe.com. And you can always find us here on YouTube. Check us out every week, or at least every other week as we try, because we all know life gets in the way. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Square Circle Cafe, for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.